And just for a little bit of surprise, check this out. All right, and welcome to another episode of Fictional Character Motivation. I'm your host, Quan, and today we will be talking about a Christmas movie since it is the season. And before you start with Quan, why haven't you done more Christmas movies? You know, why haven't we seen more Christmas movies? Well, to be quite honest with you, most Christmas movies, their messages are very easily read. I mean, if you really pay attention to a movie, pretty much Christmas Carol, you know, be generous, pretty much be generous in the now. Don't be an a hole. I mean, you have pretty much Elf, the power of belief, and being generous and being nice, and it all just slurs in pretty nice. It's not only nicely but also pretty straightforward. I mean, I saw even one with Disney's which one was it? Pretty much it was like a couple of stories of pretty much Christmas stories being rehashed in Disney fashion, pretty much with Donald Duck's sons, and they pretty much wish that Christmas was every day, and then for pretty much the most of the story, you see that it was, and instead of them going at it from a different approach, they realized to go at it more grateful and respectable, and to be more generous, to be more giving, and most of the time, cut it short, most Christmas movies are quite direct. Like that message is already there, but there are some the more unconventional Christmas movies that you have to sift through the images a little bit. And as usual, that is my specialty. For instance, the movie we're talking about is Die Hard, on how you have to be the hero. First one came out in 1988, and then the second one came out in 1990. Third one, Die Hard with a Vengeance, came out in 1995. Live Free or Die Hard, saw that in theaters. It was pretty fun. Came out in 2007, and A Good Day to Die Hard. Did not see it in theaters. I just saw it probably in on TV from what I remember. Came out in 2013. So start with pretty much the first one and take sifts off maybe the couples of the other ones, the ones that I reference, the one I reference the most besides the first one, and the other few is Live Free or Die Hard. So you'll hear that a lot. But NY cop John McClane is visiting his estranged wife and two kids on Christmas Eve. He joins her at a holiday party in the headquarters of the Japanese owned business where she works. Yeah, where she works. But festivities are interrupted by a group of terrorists who take over the exclusive high rise and everyone in it. Very soon, McClane realizes that there's no one to save the hostages but himself. Besides being regarded as one of the unrecognized Christmas movies, this action movie is one of the best because the hero is not a superhero. He's not a John Wick. He's not highly trained. He doesn't even do stuff like this every day. John McClane has some has a good amount of comp training, but that was mostly about it. He was relatable. He's almost a regular Joe, a person you can probably bump into on the street, a regular human, except except he's not, because he knew he had to step up to be the hero for these people. He didn't do it with a smile on his face. He didn't do it, you know, Doing some, he didn't do it, like this is something I have to do. I mean, during some of the movies, I mean, yeah, during this movie in particular, during some of the movies, he wasn't even in the best shape or mindset, but he knew that he had to do it. He talks about this, yeah, he talks about pretty much gives a little free monologue, um, in a way, in the movie Live Free or Die Hard, talking about talking to this hacker guy that he saved while they're driving to go save the United States, pretty much. And the guy and pretty much the hacker guy's having a dilemma of just like, I can't do this, and he's like, do what? It's like, can't be a hero. I can't do this, with this and this. And McClane just kind of gets a little bit of a gets a little bit of a side look and lets out a small little sigh. It's like, and this is where it starts. You know what you get for being a hero? A pat on the back, a good job, attaboy. There you go. That's a way to show them. Your wife leaves you. Your kids hate you. Trust me, kid. You don't want to be. You don't. Nobody wants to be that guy. Then the hacker goes up to him and is like, "So why do you do it?" And he says, "Because no one else will. If I could give this to somebody, I would give it to him, and that's what makes me the guy." You can tell by pretty that speech that he's the life of a hero has not even treated him as it should have. So he's not a Marvel hero, and I think that's pretty much throwing a lot of shade on not only people who do go out and do this stuff, but throws a lot on people who we should respect, that should be classified as the heroes. Like, I don't know, healthcare workers, people who are risking their lives right now, risking possibly getting this thing, policemen, firemen, like anyone who is willing to put their life in front of someone else to save theirs. And I'm talking about the good kind. I know there's a lot of controversy, but the good folks, the good folks, they need to get more love, more understanding. Back to this. Plain understands that this is something that has to be done, and he's willing to risk it all to become the guy so we can all be saved. So, how does this apply to you? Well, in the pursuit of happiness, in the pursuit of improving yourself, the challenge of life, getting up and moving when you know you should. You see, when we feel tired, when we feel low, when we're not 100%, when we're not mentally there, we may not want to go that extra mile, but we should, because that is what is needed. The hero calling, as McLean sees it, can be in any form. It can be being friendly and respectful when there's no need to. Someone being disrespectful to you, someone causing issues. It's cracking a smile when you don't feel like it. It's, there are times where like life is hard and everyone may come in as like, well, life is hard, that happens. Yeah, but at the same time, life is hard for different reasons. I mean, as we know in COVID, there's people that that we've got the virus and it's like, oh, I feel horrible, I feel sick. But there are people who got the virus and that was their last day. You know, there are people who were driving, going to the grocery store, and that was the last time they were going to do that. You know, and we got to pretty much keep that mindset in there. That even though it may not feel that with probabilities and how life is and everything, and how unexpected some things may happen. We may feel that we have control and that this this said ending is least likely to happen, but we don't know technically. I mean, things can change just like that. And not only that, things that can change just like that. Things can happen just like that that could have possibly prevented other things. I mean, not to go deep in that, but to continuing on, doing that workout when you get off from work, having time for that friend, for that loved one, when you had not enough time for yourself. There are a lot of examples, but you know what I'm trying to say. Being a hero isn't looking at a difficult task with a smile on your face. Being a hero is doing the task as best as you can at the current level that you're at, because, quoting Thor here, that's what heroes do. But it's the truth. You're never going to be 100% in life. There's going to be times where you will be 90%, 80%. There are going to be times where you may even be 10%. But the fact is that if you're alive right now, I consider you a hero. I consider you, in your story, in your current life right now, you, you are the hero in this story. And the only thing a hero needs to do is to get up, do what he needs to do, do what he needs to do, and continue on with life. No, it's not going to be pretty. And if you've seen McClane, he's not even the friendliest guy. I mean, there are times where people may consider him to be an asshole. There are times where he just rubs somebody off the wrong way. I mean, it's how it works, but that's how he is. And he's pretty much a good symbol that even though he may do it at a certain little speck or whatnot, he can still be classified as a hero because he's willing to put himself in front of the danger. Like you said, he may not do it with Captain Captain America's vigor. He may not do it with the great smirk on his face, going as like, oh, I don't get this. He may just even have a growling face. It's like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm in this thing again. Even though he may have that slight snarl, that growl, he's still there. He still values this. He still knows what is right and what is wrong. And he chooses, that even though he doesn't have a pep in his step, that he still chooses to try to do the right thing. He still chooses to push himself. He still chooses to do the best that he can with what he has. I mean, let's not forget the first, um, pretty much talking about the first Die Hard. At the end of the movie, he got shot a couple times. One of his feet had glass in it. I mean, and he got beaten up to a bloody pulp by a big Russian cat. I mean, it's those are not times where it's just like you're going like, yeah, I got this. Like, no, you could tell like he had to infuse some anger, that he was tired of this, he was tired of that. But he still knew what he had to do, and he still did it. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do. Is pretty much, while the whole Christmas season is happening, become the hero of your story. But know that the hero has to do stuff. You don't have to do it with a smile. You don't have to do it and think you have to have superpowers. You can just do what you need to do. You can do to help somebody, to help somebody have a better day. You can do something to make sure that you take care of yourself. You can be the hero and try to look at who's looking at you and try to bolster yourself up. I mean, sure, like I said, you may have to growl a little bit from time to time, but know that you're doing it for the cause. And that's all that needs to motivate you, is that you need to do it for the cause. I hope this landed for y'all. Also, please tell me what you thought about the intro that I just made, and of course, this new things. Tell me what you think of it. You think it's good? You think it's bad? Is it helpful? Is it not helpful? Please, please, please let me know. As usual, if this landed for you, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, if you're listening to this through podcast, please subscribe, please follow, and pretty much go to my YouTube If you have any questions, if you have any recommendations, if you even have a movie that I have not looked at yet that you think I should, let's let's dive into this, y'all. Let's start this good. I'm hoping to keep my high pretty much volume of making videos leading through this week to the next week to next year and then some. I hope this helps. I hope this is awesome. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope this something landed for you. And as always, hope you have an awesome day and deuces.